35. Y equals x to the natural log of x. When you have a variable in the base and the exponent, there is no formula for doing the derivative of that. Okay, we haven't had a formula for that. We've had derivative of a to the variable expression, or sometimes you have a constant down here and a variable up here, or sometimes you have a constant up here and a variable down here. But when there's a variable in both spots, you have to take the natural log on both sides. Like that. It's called logarithmic differentiation. That allows you then, because of rules of logarithms, to move your exponent of natural log of x out front. Now, you've got two options at this point. You're going to go through and do the derivative. You can do the derivative on the left side and just call that 1 over y times dy over dx equals. If you do the derivative over here, what rule are you going to have to use? Product rule. I think like at least three of the groups that did this yesterday, for two or three for sure, didn't use the product rule here. Okay. Now, if you don't like the product rule and you want to avoid the product rule, you could do this. You could say, well, that's the same as natural log of x squared. Right? Natural log of x times natural log of x, natural log of x squared. Now, the one thing you got to be careful of is you can't put that 2 out front. You can only move the 2 out front on a logarithm if that 2 is just on the x. If it's on the whole thing, you have to leave it up there. Now let's do the derivative. The derivative here would be 1 over y times dy over dx. What rule do you think? I avoided the product rule, but now what rule am I going to have to use? I have an inside and an outside function. Chain rule. So you can't avoid all the rules. You're going to have to do one of them. So multiply by 2 out front. Take that down to the first power. Copy down your inside function, natural log of x. Then multiply by the derivative of natural log of x, which would be what? 1 over x. So this right side basically becomes 2 times natural log of x over x. I'm just multiplying this times 1 up top. Over here I've got dy over dx. Let's say I don't really want that 1 over y here. How can I get rid of that? Times by y. So times by y here, and out here. Cancel the y's. So then instead of a y, here what would I write? The original. Yep, the original is x to the natural log of x power. Now it is possible, you don't have to do this, but you could move this 2 right here up into that exponent. You could write it like this: natural log of x squared over x times x to the natural log of x. That'd be another possible way to write the answer. Just moving that 2 up into the x right there. So that's 35.